talk about the man of the moment tonight, yeah, man. Mr. Julian Robinson. My goodness. Julian Robinson. General of beat and teach, you know, man. General of beat and teach. Shadow spokesperson on finance for the People's National Party. Julian Robinson. The man a beat and teach Jamaica. A beat and teach. So, we're there. And we're going to get into the CVM interview. I heard some interesting things happen on the CVM interview with Julian Robinson. So, me I go deal with it tonight and I look at it because the way how the news is going right now, you have to make hay while the sun is shining. You understand? Big up TikTok, how you guys doing? Welcome to the platform. You know what I mean? Hey, but not lie. Make me skip through platforms tonight. Yo, listen, I watch Mystic. Yo, people, Mystic have a new dub, you know. What are they? I want to be the post it. Mystic have a new dub plate for the Elvas, you know. I think God. No. You know, like and share my video. Mama son, big up yourself. You know, like and share the video. Me post it on my TikTok. Yeah, I post it on my TikTok, but I don't post it on my YouTube. Mystic have a new dub. TikTok, check out the last video I do on YouTube. As a matter of on TikTok, the last 4 video. I have 4 new videos on TikTok. When you check out the last 4 videos them on my TikTok, see? But I go drop that video on YouTube and that video. My goodness, I never know say Mystic sensational artist. No, Byron. Mr. Byron, you're going good. Mr. Byron Robot, hey. Mr. Byron Robot, Daryl Voss. Boy, if you don't watch Mystic Sensation in the night, I will make sure so to check him out, you know. Yeah, man, Mystic deal with them wicked, man. Probably I've got to touch on a piece of that in the night. I tell you. You know, look good for Daryl Voss, that's all me know. Daryl Voss, you're not trouble. Wagwan Joan, good night. Today is still Friday, you know. So you know what I think go. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Yeah, man, do the right thing. All blessings and abundance is welcome. TikTok, I don't know what to do. I'm go on, you know, like so. Yeah, with your finger them. I don't know how to do this. TikTok. And for the people on YouTube, right up at the top here, sir. You know, you look at thumbs up symbol, it's supposed to be right and make the somewhere up here, sir. If you can't find the like button, just look up this one and touch that on your phone, and you're good to go. If you watch on your computer, it's easy to hit the like button. Easy. You understand? If you watch on your computer on YouTube, there's no, you don't have to worry about nothing. It's very, very easy. Alright, my people. So, let me find the TikTok video for you. And just play it. Let me make you hear when Mr. Byron is going with over there. Mr. Byron is going with a caucus bag of things. Mystic Sensation, big up every time. You know, so my sister Annie Isabel Rose. You know, so she have a video years ago, about 3 years ago, when I go do a reaction to, because it tie into the realities of right now. Like it's like no change. You know them way there? Are the same problem them in the health care professional era from then till now. So It's sad, but you know, something to explore. So, big up on Isabel Rose. What's my name on YouTube? Bolo VNR. The same Bolo VNR on TikTok and 2.0. 2 with a dot and O. That's my name on YouTube. I have actually 4 YouTube pages. Let me show you. I think I can show you right here now, man. See there? That's my YouTube page. You see it? Person will just ask me on TikTok. See the YouTube page there. That is it right there. Alright? Yeah man. Yeah man, you can check me over there and subscribe. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. I really do. I much rather you guys follow me on YouTube because TikTok is not so nice to me, you know. From the other day, TikTok has been doing the most, you know, restricting my lives for no reason. Like I will actually start my live on TikTok and then it tells me you are violated. So I'm like, how me just start my TikTok 30 seconds ago talking like this and not cursing. Ladies who what's up, Maureen big up, not doing anything at all that could be a violation. But I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. There's entities that now own YouTube that is aligned with this government that's in Jamaica. And they are targeting my page. They are targeting my page. And I've found it out even on YouTube as well. From the other day, them keep telling me about products. You know, you can tag products on YouTube. Me stop tag them. Because nobody now buy the products them anyway. So me stop tag them. They are using it as a means to flag me. So me stop tag. Yeah, me stop tag products on YouTube. You know, you can tag products. And you have like a store where you can order the things that when me tag and then I would get a percentage. Me stop it. Nobody now buy anything. So me just say, you know what, instead of them take my channel, make me just stop tag them thing. Because, you know, there comes a time when the truth just needs to be the truth. You understand? And we leave it right there. We cannot grow as a society if the truth is being suppressed. And there's a lot of suppression of the truth on social media. And this is why I say to people that support platforms like mine, you guys have to be the engine of the platform. You have to share the videos. You understand what I say? Send it to 10 people. 10 new people. Every time we go live, send the video to 10 new people in your contacts. My job is to have credible information. You understand? My job is to Candy Flames walk on. Pick up yourself, Candy. My job is to have credible information. You understand? That is my job. Zane, and if you value the information that you're getting on the platform, then show it. Show it, man. Mommy, that too loud, you know. No, man, that too loud, man. I can't hear that from where now. I know some people can't hear it. That way too loud. You can push up the door or something. Trust me. Alright, remember just sometime the comment section now move from my phone. So make sure some have this on the side right here, sir. So I can see the comment section. You understand? On my computer at all times. Alright. So it actually I follow. So Joanne is the only person that is here that is willing to tell me good night. Everybody else that is here is hiding in the bushes. Oh, Althea is here. Blessed good night, Althea. How you doing? Big up yourself. Archangel, big up yourself. Who else is here on TikTok? We can get some taps on the screen. Let me change my Me take off that something here. We don't know that. Take off this. Yeah, let me take off this. Effects. There we go. Alright. Yeah man, big up yourself, Altia. All the respect. Alright, here we go. These are the new dub, ladies and gentlemen. See dub here.
Mystic Sensation drop a dub plate.
You hear that? So Daryl boys fling out him dub plate. Right? Daryl boys fling out him big dub plate.
Hear dub plate.
You hear the dub plate, people?
Yes.
Well, me know the Auditor General got answer him back in. Probe after probe. Because somebody have to go to jail, probe after probe. Somebody now get bail, probe after probe. Somebody have to go to jail, probe after probe, probe after probe, probe after probe. Come in there, Pat. Probe after probe.
Some guy have to go to prison a morning, probe after probe. All the detention and leaving, probe after probe. Boy, we can't hear this on you, man.
Probe after probe. All right.
General not leaving. Auditor General not leaving in the morning. Probe after probe.
Hey, shout out to Altia with the 10 in the super chat. Altia, big up yourself. Yo, me say when me hear Mystic start sing, me nearly jump out and cheer. Yo, what I know here?
Evening. All right.
Mystic Sensation drop a dub plate.
You hear that? So Daryl boys fling out him dub plate.
Yes.
Right? Daryl boys fling out him big dub plate.
Hey, Altia, consider becoming a member of the platform here. Look, same place where you see the super chat. Look and you see the option to become a member. You understand? And that goes for everybody. If you see the money sign, you can become a member, you can send a super chat, you can send gift, and you also can gift other people membership. That's watching. Alright? So you can pay for their membership as well. If you want to bless up the platform in that way. Yeah man, probe after probe. Listen to this.
Mystic Sensation drop a dub plate.
You hear that? So Daryl boys fling out him dub plate.
What do you mean?
Right? Daryl boys fling out him big dub plate. You hear the dub plate, people? Well, me know the Auditor General.
Oh, and the next thing to Altia on YouTube, if you look at your emojis, there's 5 emojis there that you can use in the comment section. Alright, I'm going to drop them in the comment section right now. You see them? Right there, so. That's for members only when they become a member. See them double plate. You see them emoji there? I make them. So I'll be making more. The more people become members, YouTube is gonna give me more options to make more emojis. So yeah man, that's something else you can enjoy. And also I have membership only content that only members can view. Right? So it's a VIP status vibe. Let's continue.
I got answer him back in. Probe after probe. Because somebody have to go to jail, probe after probe. Somebody now get bail, probe after probe. Somebody have to go to jail, probe after probe, probe after probe, probe after probe. Come in there, Pat. Probe after probe.
Some guy have to go to prison a morning, probe after probe.
Remember.
All the detention and leaving, probe after probe. Boy, we can't hear this on you, man.
Probe after probe. All right.
Listen, General not leaving. Auditor General not leaving in the morning. Pro after pro. The prisoner evening. All right.
All right.
On a more serious note, Jamaica. Karen, big up yourself. Karen sent me this, so I have to play for you people. Serious thing.
Flood coming to Jamaica this said the Lord thy God. England will help Jamaica.
Look for me big lip. One young thing. Not two, not three. But
Yes, sir. Mighty God.
just remember that CVM come after me.
No, somebody sent me to know. Alright. This is my mother this time. Alright. We're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I say nothing more.
Lead story. Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica's western parishes in October of last year. The Planning Institute of Jamaica now puts the damage at $12.2 billion US, 56.7% of this country's entire GDP. The economy contracted by 1.4% in the fiscal year now ending. Against that backdrop, Finance Minister Favour Williams presented an $18 billion tax package, the first new taxes from this administration in 10 years.
No, CVM. You don't know say a lie that. Why would not repeat the lie? It was established in the budget that Jamaica Labour Party is lying about the first new taxes in 10 years. Why are you, CVM TV, repeating that? And trust me, I have people over CVM TV that I love. That is my bonononus. She know herself. Big up yourself every time. I don't know when she watching. So this is not an attack on CVM, but no, you have to apologize for this. You have to set this correct. There was new taxes in 20 blows and skirt 16, 2017, and 2020 in the last 10 years. And now 2026. So to say this is incorrect.
Package. The first Williams presented an $18 billion tax package, the first new taxes from this administration in 10 years.
That is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. Misinformation and disinformation. You know what, I'm going to play back the tape? Hold on. I'm going to play back the tape. Because it appears that I have to play back the tape, ladies and gentlemen. Let me play back the tape. Because Julian Robinson dealt with this extensively. Yeah, man. Extensively. We cannot do this, Jamaica. Let us set the record straight, man. Let me find it. I don't want to play no bag of knives in the head. Zine and I find the right song. Okay, so now I guess I'll have to go back to the original video. I thought I'd set that to myself. I think this is the one. No, that's not the one. Don't worry. It's there. YouTube. I have not listened to the interview. I have not listened to the interview, you know, so. Yeah. Then win that game at two. And they tricked me. I'm sorry, y'all. They tricked me. Oh, this is the one. How did it go? Oh, that's the first quarter? Man. Bro. I guess the game not finished yet. Okay. The game is finished. Oh, wow. Anyway. Let me find it here, man. PBC, sorry. We're gonna go right to, I know exactly where to go on that live stream. when he's showing the chart of the taxes. Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is,
The hard choices,
Antonio.
and I want to look at this chart because the minister used it on Tuesday and said she wanted to explain to the 20-year rules, right? And so yes, it is your chart, and I want to use it to explain to the 20-year rules why those taxes had to be imposed from 2012 to 2016, 2015. But I also, there's been this, I don't know if I can say lie,
Yes.
about no new tax for 10 years.
God bless, big up.
We've been hearing this misrepresentation that there's been no new tax for 10 years. But then I looked on the minister's chart. So what is in 2016? What is in 2017?
Somebody said that's a new school bus. Mighty God. Somebody said that is a new school bus. Me done with Jamaica. Yo, the man when I parliament need to chill out, bro. Somebody said that's not new taxes, that is a new school bus. Matthew, me live right now. It's too late for that now. Just what? Just voice note me, you see me? Yeah, man. But yeah. Unless I call him on the program like different, but it's too late for that now. And by the time it's done, hours. Let's continue.
So Damien, when you go back to Ty Dixon, I want you to ask your constituent, what can go so?
So ladies and gentlemen, it was established in the budget presentation by Julian Robinson that there was new taxes in 2016 and 2017. So why is she saying this?
Finance Minister Favour Williams presented an $18 billion tax package, the first new taxes from this administration in 10 years.
Miss, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Somebody tell me say you're a labor right, you know. Somebody tell me say you're a labor right. I don't know you. But right off I bat, your score gone down already because you just repeated a lie. Somebody tell me say he's a supporter of the Labour Party. And here you are telling us that there was no new taxes in 10 years when that has been debunked in the budget speech. And Julian Robinson is the person that you're going to interview. Clearly you did not do your research. And you're a journalist. Even anybody can have the party with them, you know. You can decide who you want to support. But mighty God, do not expose a bias when you are a mainstream media journalist. It don't look good. She get beaten sometime. But you see, Mrs. What's your name again? Oh my God. What's your name again? Me follow her up on YouTube. The lawyer lady, what's your name again? Somebody help me out. The brown lady will say, time for tea. What's your name again? Well, the lady on YouTube will say, time for tea. Me watch her content and me subscribe to her. Oral Tracy, same thing. Mrs. Dion Jackson Miller. Listen to me. Even if Dion Jackson Miller have a bias, it's hard to tell. Sometimes she get beaten, I saw you go. But at least Jamaica should try. But this is unacceptable. I am sorry. I don't know what this lady's name is, but this is unacceptable. Let's continue.
Alongside an $11.4 billion transfer from the National Housing Trust. The opposition says, wrong medicine, wrong time. And they say they have an alternative. Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance and member of parliament for St. Andrew Southeastern, now joins me. Good evening and welcome to Lead Story. Well, he should be here with us in a moment as we talk about what it is that we're hearing from the opposition. He made his full presentation inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. He made his full presentation inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say.
She called him Miss Robinson. No, that area. Father God, what is going on? Did you guys hear that?
Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say.
She did say Miss Robinson. Am I the only one that heard that? Miss Robinson? The disrespect, bro. Bro, the disrespect, bro. Oh, hell no. No, sir. No, sir. Did you guys hear Miss a while ago? Am I tripping? Miss Robinson? Miss Robinson. Let me play it again.
Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say. Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say. And inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say. Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say. And inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say. Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Ms. Robinson had to say.
Yo, I hope she apologized for this. I hope she realized the error after this and apologized. Miss Robinson? Miss Robinson. Man, listen, bruh. Ain't no way. Where Dre Bryan there? Dre Bryan need to clip this up. Yo, no. Hold on. Wait. No, sir, we ain't gonna do this. Yo, Dre Bryan, me live right now on YouTube. Listen to me. Somebody need to come tell me in here, so. Tell me if me a hear wrong. Uno forward. May I send the link? Hold on. No, this serious. This too serious. No, sir. Where you say Janet? Janet said this shows no edit or editors is there. No, I hope that she apologized, but I clearly heard Miss Robinson. Miss. And I just wanted to verify with you guys if it's something wrong with me. Right? And it's clear that nothing is wrong with me because when you hear with me here. Alright? So, yeah. Let me just share this. You understand? Wow, Miss Robinson. That's crazy. Miss Robinson. Wow. Me want to find Dre Bryan right now if he up. Dre Bryan have to go listen to this car. He come like say, I don't know Rasta. No man, you know I'm live right now. I don't need no info, you know. I want to join the live. I want you guys to come hear this for yourself because I just caught something in the interview with this lady. Where you say sound accidental? Well, somebody need to catch her back on it, you know. Yeah, man. So people who join the live, may I tell you, somebody need to catch her up on this because this is the man at the moment. Miss Robinson, yo. Miss Robinson. I feel some type of way. I not lie. I feel some type of way. You say she click it and it now come up. That's crazy, really. Hey, me tell her, say, the man, yo, the man continue to sabotage my thing, you know, bro. Man, continue to sabotage my thing, you know. Them for click it and it now come up. That means so when they send people my life. Alright, cool. So, alright. somebody in our group there. All right, listen to this now. Wanna listen to this now? Listen to this by the CVM TV interviews. Listen to this.
Well, he should be here with us in a moment as we talk about what it is that we're hearing from the opposition. He made his full presentation inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. And inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say.
She said he twice and still said, let's take a listen to what Miss Robinson had to say. Miss, the level of disrespect is unheard of, bro. I'm sorry, yo. You cannot make this up. I'm not even 30 seconds, we're not even 2 minutes in this broadcast from CVM. Andrea, big up yourself. No, I mean, did I hear wrong or did you guys hear Miss Robinson? Let me play it again.
Inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. And inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. And inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say.
Yo, John. You know, I just wanted to know that I was not tripping. Jay Bryan, you know what to do, bro. This is ridiculous and unbelievable. Miss Robinson? Really? Miss Robinson. Perry, bro. Miss Robinson. May I play it back from when the lady said. May I play it back from when she said he 2 times. Listen to this.
On finance and Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Southeastern now joins me. Good evening and welcome to Lead Story. Well, he should be here with us in a moment as we talk about what it is that we're hearing from the opposition. He made his full presentation inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take.
He should be with us. He made his full. How she said miss after that.
Listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say.
Yo, miss, let me tell you this. If you come across this video, I heard you are a Labourite. No, I came here with clear conscience I never watched none of this. I just came to listen for myself, but you're off to a very bad start. First, you lied about no taxes in 10 years, right? When Mr. Robinson clearly debunked that in Parliament. It was a Kodak moment in the Parliament. How you miss it and you are a mainstream journalist, I don't know. I don't have a problem with you being a Labourite, that is your prerogative. But you're a mainstream media journalist, so you're not like us vloggers. So you should make sure that your bias is in check in terms of when you're being professional and you're doing your interviews. Your bias should be in check. But me here say a Labourite still. As me say, you can't approve of people them right. Miss Robinson, let's continue. I'm out. No, me done with this. Let's continue. No, this not right. This not right. This is not right. I'm sorry. This is not right. That's crazy. Miss Robinson.
The budget that has been presented falls short in this regard. Falls short. It falls short for the woman in Sablamar who lost her shop and is hoping for some ease to the predicament that she faces so that she can send her children to school. It falls short for the man in Mobile whose car was destroyed in the hurricane and who wants to get his taxi business back up and running. It falls short for the man in Katadupa, the farmer, who we need to produce so that we can import less and we can supply our hotels. And it falls short for the NHT contributors, whose monies continue to be diverted away from the institution it was meant to serve, by a government that once opposed that very practice.
Floor of Parliament. That was Julian Robinson yesterday on the floor of Parliament making his contribution as opposition's opposition spokesman on finance to the budget debate. We now have Julian Robinson inside Lead Story live with us this evening. Mr. Robinson, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, you get it right now. Somebody must check her in that place, Jamaica. She get it right now. Mr. Robinson, how are you doing?
Good evening to you and to your viewers as well.
Thanks for being with us. Julian Robinson, you made your contribution to the budget debate yesterday, and you were very critical of the government's tax package. What's the core problem you see with the measures that have been presented?
Well, we have just 4 months ago, Jamaica experienced the most severe, the most devastating hurricane in the history of the country. In fact, it was categorized beyond a Category 5 hurricane. Now, we must never get ourselves in a false sense of normality, mainly because we are in the eastern part of the country. But there are many people in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, who have no house, whose livelihoods have been totally destroyed. If they're farmers, they're everything out. People who have no roof over their head. Now, at a time like this, when there are so many Jamaicans, and we're talking about thousands of Jamaicans, who are yet to get back on their feet, 4 months after a hurricane, we do not believe additional taxes is the appropriate thing. We believe that people still need support. We recognize that there's a revenue gap, that the fall off in economic activity has impacted the government. But there has to be an alternative way to fill that gap. And we think taxes in an environment where you have a shrinking economy is going to contract the problem, because people have less disposable income, because they would have been out of jobs, their businesses would have been affected, and you are seeking to take $18 billion worth of new taxes from them. We just don't think the timing is right for that.
You put forward, as a result of that critique, a very specific alternative. Walk our viewers through that alternative. What are the sources? What do they yield?
Sure.
And how does it close the gap without new taxes?
All right, so I started off by looking at how we can increase compliance and collect more money as a country, how tax authority could do that, TAJ. And there's a system called electronic invoicing, which is, if implemented properly and which is mandatory for all businesses, would allow TAJ to have real-time information on all the transactions that are done by businesses. What this will do is, as a major business invoices a customer, that information is provided to TAJ. They will have an idea of how much GCT should be collected from it. So it's called electronic invoicing. And the critical difference between what exists now and what we are proposing is that we are insisting that this be mandatory for all businesses who operate under our tax system. In the countries that we have looked at, this has had significant positive impact, moving tax collection up between 10 and 15% without increasing taxes. So we propose 2% of the total of the GCT and the special consumption tax, and that would yield 8.6 billion. We propose the introduction of what is called a digital nomad program, where foreigners can come to Jamaica, people who have the opportunity to work from anywhere in the world, and set up and stay here in Jamaica for up to a year. It would be a visa that would last for 12 months. And the visa fees we calculate based on a 2,000 US per person and 5,000 visitors in the first year would generate 1.5 billion. But more importantly, the economic activity that would arise from this activity, where people would be staying at Airbnbs, hotels, guest houses, they would be buying food, they would be eating at restaurants, patronizing shops, consuming our music or entertainment. We anticipate that the multiplier effect for this, using an average of a 6-month stay, would be about 25,000 US per person. So we think we can generate in 1 year 19.5 billion in activity. Now that's not revenue, that's money flowing through the economy. Now, even after that, we looked at a couple of public sector institutions where there are surpluses generated.
Because you have a gap still, even with those two measures,
Right,
you
we
still
still
have
have a
extra
gap.
money that you
Still
need
have
to come up with, because you said no
and I'm
taxes,
going through it.
so you have to help me out now, yes.
Right. So there are a couple of institutions at BOJ, we were going to take an additional billion. FCJ, we looked at where we could save costs. Airports Authority, we had a savings of 2 billion. So after that, we're left with 15 billion. And our view is that the government should borrow that money. And when we looked at the impact on the overall debt to GDP number, it would move the debt to GDP number by 0.44 of 1%. Right? Now, in the scheme of things, that is a relatively minor movement And what you're doing is you'll be generating more activity, which would allow the economy to bounce back quicker, and you'll be able to bring back your debt to GDP numbers back to what they were prior to the hurricane. So we believe that's a better option than imposing the $18 billion worth of taxes on a population that is still not recovered from the devastating Hurricane Melissa.
All right, so that is then the outline of your presentation and what it is that...
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, when you compare Favor Williams' presentation and what he just explained in 2 minutes, don't you get more clarity? Don't you get a clear outline of exactly what it is that the People's National Party would have been doing differently and how it actually is something that would work? He never said, listen, trust us. That's what Favor Williams told everybody, you know, trust us. Just trust us. We got your back. No, he said, we're going to take money from here. We're looking to generate this amount of income. And let's be clear, the income in which he estimated was really the lowest estimate of what it could potentially bring. So it was modest. It was not extravagant, because really and truly, it could be even more. I mean, offering visas for, you see, all right, let me tell you. Imagine the young man that, what's his name again? Speed. I am Speed. I show Speed. That Virgin on YouTube, he's one of those people. He's one of those nomads, right? So imagine you offer him that visa and he chooses to say, yo, listen, I'm going to come to Jamaica and I'm going to vlog to show y'all what it's all about. I'm going to go to all the spots. So now he's here enjoying Jamaica, obviously spending money, you know, in the economy. Obviously, he would need somewhere to stay. He has security. He has all of that, right? He's going to go to all of the hot spots then in Jamaica. You know, all the day attractions, all the night attractions on his platform. He get millions of views. Now that would be free marketing for Jamaica while he's in Jamaica, patronizing Jamaica. The domino effect of that, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That's huge. Because what he's doing in Africa right now is massive. He's on an Africa tour, I think, still. He's on an Africa tour right now. Yeah, just like what Mayor did copy. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When Chris Brown came here the other day, that was used for Jamaica. That was huge for Jamaica. I Show Speed, or I think his name is I Show Speed, or I Am Speed. He's gonna go more in there. He's not afraid. And like I said, he has top flight security with him at all times. Top flight security. Jamaica would be an I Show Speed. Jamaica would be an experience for him. And I'm telling you, those videos would be viral all over the internet. It would give us just him alone, you know, I'm just telling about one person, you know. That would be massive. So this is a great idea. That's a great idea by Julian Robinson. Zine, great idea by him. And of course, you know, they're honest about it. There's 15 point something billion that would still be a gap. But when compared to the GDP, it's 0.44%. Obviously, you would have to borrow that, like you said. I'm just saying, instead of taxing the poor that don't have it, tell me that that's not the better alternative. Tell me that that's not a more well thought out idea. I digress. Let's continue.
you're saying is an alternative for Jamaicans to consider. Let's run through a couple of the things that you've highlighted. Electronic invoicing, specifically a projection of that 8.
Electronic invoicing is actually genius. It's gonna take some time, but that's genius because Julian Robinson rightfully in the budget speech highlighted a big story of how much billions of dollars a few car salesmen owed the government, filing nil taxes. And when the government pull up on them find the money fast. That I want me sure about. When the government pull up on them, they say, yo, we have the money, 4 billion. 4 billion something, I believe. So it's a good idea that, because if they are to maximize their tax collection, which is important, because nobody should be cheating taxes. Nobody should be cheating. You cannot demand of the government to do their job while robbing them of the taxes that they need to do their job. So you're benefiting, you're earning, and then you don't want to pay your taxes? That's not right. You are shortchanging children that would need that food, you know, the food to go to school, the bus here to go to school, whatever program the government have to fund to help our children, you're robbing them. You're robbing us of good roads or better roads. You're robbing us of better educational programs. Right? You're robbing us of better infrastructure. You're robbing us. No, I'm not saying to push the nightlife, you know, but people are going to do their nightlife. It is what it is. You understand? Because people are going to do what they want to do. I understand exactly what you're saying, Janet. And there's going to be an offset of everything with the nomads, right, coming here. Yeah, man, I know. I'm saying I agree. I understand what you're saying. You're absolutely right about that.
$6 billion, resting on that 2% conservative figure of compliance across that 430 billion. Right, additional compliance measures.
Right.
So you pointed to countries like Mexico, Chile, Uruguay, and Peru as evidence that this works. What does it take to implement such a quick system, and how quickly can we get it in place to deliver?
And I believe we can. So the reason I only estimated 2%, and we're talking about fiscal year 26-27, I believe that it can be implemented within the year. There's already a system in place. So it's not that TAJ started from scratch. They have a system where people can upload it. The difference is this becomes mandatory. You're not depending on the business to put in an invoice. Sometimes people may not post all their invoices, or something may slip between the cracks. So there may be need for more IT support or to upgrade the system to facilitate this. But I believe it can be implemented within this fiscal year, and that's why our estimates of 2% are so conservative, given that you would be introducing this thing in the fiscal year.
All right.
So that's interesting. So you're saying that TAJ has the actual framework in place already, legislation would need to go in place, and it's going to take a little time, but it could be done in this fiscal year 26-27, even though, well, the fiscal year don't start at April when the budget read, or the budget starts April 1st. That's interesting. So will the government of Jamaica run with this? I would love for them to run with it. You know? Yeah, man, I would love for them to run with it, because at the end of the day, they are the ones in power and we are the ones suffering, the poor people. So I would love for them to run with it. I don't mind them thief the idea, Jamaica. I really don't mind. Yeah, man. Them don't even have to give the PNP credit. We know who put the idea forward. But Andrew, run with the idea here. Because we will not come with a madness for tax people that just come out of this devastation of Hurricane Melissa. We now have no roof over them, head still live out a door. And if you catch with people and them something there, yo, picnic can't even go to school, the parents them not have it. School attendance low. Big up yourself, Andrea Royal. Morning to you, sweetheart. Mexican 501, respect, thanks for the likes. Let's continue.
Term nomad program. That's also an ambitious proposal that's put on the table, projecting up to 19.5.
Why did she call the nomad program an ambitious proposal? You didn't hear Julian Robinson say no. You want to see Julian Robinson face? No. What are you talking about? Why is it ambitious? Why is the nomad program ambitious? It come like she didn't even know the brand Jamaica, what brand Jamaica brings. Do you know how much people Jamaica is on their bucket list? Like seriously. You think say Beanie Man and Vibes Cartel and Bob Marley and the whole of them and Buju Banton and all of the artists them, you think Popcorn, you name it, you think say them just go afar and go operate? Egyptian and the whole of them, all like Rastaman them will work overseas. You think say them just go overseas and operate and them work no hold no water in terms of adding to the culture and the reputation of Jamaica? Listen, I don't remember who said it. Oh yes, Marvin. Cause I love the people then credit. Marvin Edgar said, the man said, bro, man said it on him live. I have it on my channel. You guys need to go watch my videos. Marvin Edgar said, look at the crime rate in Jamaica and the tourist numbers in terms of visitors rarely goes down. Imagine if we should focus more on agriculture and focus on cleaning up Jamaica and the corruption and everything. Imagine the potential. It's something that's not tapped into enough, ladies and gentlemen. With all of the negative things them about Jamaica, look at the amount of people that still visit here. People fall in love with this island. Fall in love with the people, the culture, and everything. I was watching a video recently, and there was this young lady, I think it was on Facebook, she's like, her mother came here way back, she fell in love, she had me, it never did work out, she have all this land and everything, and the land they up in the hills and whatever, and she's like, yo, I don't have the money or anything, but I'm on the journey to fulfill my mother's dream of what she wanted for this. That's money coming in again. Our mother owned whole heap of acres of land up in the hills. You saw it, Janet? Me like when people see this because it's viral on the internet, you know. That young lady there, you know. Right? She was born in the United States and her father is Jamaican and a Rasta man. It was a love story and it never worked out. You understand? It never worked out. These things happen. But that lady still, her mother still loves this country. A white woman, may I tell you about. She come here way back in the day. You understand what I deal with? 40 acres of land her mother have owned. Not even one road can go up there to up in the hills. Not even, there's no road to go up there. She have to cut past way to go up there. They have to walk. So I'm just trying to show you how much people actually love and cherish this island that are on the outside. We have so much untapped potential, it's ridiculous. Listen to her.
Within this fiscal year, and that's why our estimates of 2% are so conservative, given that you would be introducing this thing in the fiscal year.
All right, the digital nomad program, that's also an ambitious proposal that's put on the table, projecting up to $19.5 billion in economic activity from 5,000 participants.
Activity, not revenue.
Not necessarily revenue, activity.
Right.
You cited Barbados' welcome stamp as a model.
Correct.
Tell us, what does Jamaica look like now if we're to put that in place and a realistic timeline?
Let's have a perspective here. Jamaica has 4 million visitors every year. 4 million. I'm saying if you promote Jamaica as a location for this, I'm projecting 5,000. That is a very small percentage of the total tourists who come to Jamaica. Now the fee, which is $2,000, and I've looked at 6 countries in the Caribbean, and that's the fee that is used for Barbados. There are 6 Eastern Caribbean countries that have a similar type program. Right.
So this is therefore not unrealistic for Jamaica then to just jump on board on something like that. Julian Robinson, though, we're going to take a quick break inside Leeds Store.
Why did they cut him when explaining the nomad program? She just try to throw cold water upon it. Say 19 billion is ambitious. But the 19 billion is revenue. 4 million people come to Jamaica on average every year. 4 million. So if you take 5,000 out of that, that is super low. Even the World Cup coming up. Janet, big up yourself. You're sharp in a class tonight. Even World Cup coming up. Something that we could take advantage of as well. What are you talking about? What is she talking about? 19 billion. If you really check the tourism industry, how much money do they generate on a yearly basis on average? 5,000 people, that is, online, social media nomads or online nomads. 5,000 times 2,000 US. One of them people, give me a second. Let's crunch some numbers real quick. And that's just the fee to get here. So that's automatic. Right? That's $1 million US. See? No, sorry, my bad. 10 million US dollars. That's 10 million US dollars. Alright? They come here and they're here for a year. That's 365 days. Say on average, one person spends 400 US a day. That's 146,000 US for the year. Times that by 5,000. I need that's a lot. Damn. 146,000 US for a year. And then times that by 5,000 persons. That's 730 million US. Wow. Let's carry that down to 200 US. 400 US is not a lot, but let's take that down. Say this person spend on average 200 US a day for 365 days. That's 73,000 US dollars for the year. Times that by 5,000, that's 365 million US dollars. Times that by 150, that's 54 billion Jamaican dollars. $200 US a day of money, For a foreigner that's here, $200 US spending in one day is no money. Worse if them outside and them buy food and everything and them have other people where come with them because, we say 160 a day. Even if you go 160, that's still a lot of money. If you even go 160 US a day, that's a lot of money. That's really low. Alright, let me carry go 160. Alright, so 160. One person has spent 160. Let's be conservative. 160, 365, that's 58,400 for the year. Right? Then you times that by the 5,000 persons. That's 292 million US dollars. Times that by 292 million US dollars times by 150. That's 48 billion Jamaican dollars. Julian, I big of yourself.
You're staying with us. When we come back, we put your alternatives under the microscope. Stay with us here inside Lead Story. And Mr. Robinson in the last, still by Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance. Mr. Robinson, in the last segment, you made your case. Now we test it. Let's talk about the digital nomad program, because you have indicated that other Caribbean countries have it in place. But that proposal sounds attractive on paper, but there are experiences that have raised problems. In Lisbon, in the Canary Islands, in parts of Mexico and Costa Rica, the influx of high-spending remote workers has driven up rents, displaced local residents from their communities, and made the cost of living materially worse for ordinary people. Jamaica's housing stock is already under severe pressure after Melissa. Why would 5,000 high-earning foreign nationals spending that $25,000 each not do the same thing here?
I don't think it would, because I think we have the capacity in terms of the units. In fact, I think right now there's an overcapacity in terms of properties at the high end. I mean, if I take my own...
Bingo, bro. What is she talking about? Jamaica have more expensive Airbnbs than anything else. It's not like the regular Jamaicans access them there anyway, so it wouldn't take away from them. Who's you know, let me calm down, bro. Whose wife is this? Whose daughter is this? Ma'am, ask some proper question, because that is a weak question. Does she know actually what the level is when it comes on to rent in Jamaica? It's already too much for the people. I don't understand what she's talking about. People that actually have property that is expensive would actually get customers. That's all would happen. That's all would happen. And some people that actually are not so, how do you put it? They're not getting that much business. Their business would uptick. I am sure if you ask people that have Airbnb and these, you know, these small hotels and stuff like that, they would welcome this move. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. The fact that Negril and those places, St. James, a lot of St. James got damaged and those things, this is a welcome move. This is a welcome, and those small restaurants, there would be a domino effect. Those local restaurants outside, they would get, it's nothing like Jamaican food for foreigners, you know. Once they come and taste the food, they fall in love. Totally fall in love with the food. Listen, if my mother had a restaurant, trust me, she would have made money too. Because my mother knows how to use her hand make fashion. You understand?
Will be exposed. That's all.
So,
and anyone who takes...
Once I had the business potential, the money would circulate. Exactly. The income would be circulating in the economy. So I don't understand what you're talking about. These questions are... man, listen, you are definitely not.
Finance. Mr. Robinson, in the last segment, you made your case. Now we test it. Let's talk about the digital nomad program, because you have indicated that other Caribbean countries have it in place. But that proposal sounds attractive on paper, but there are experiences that have raised problems. In Lisbon, in the Canary Islands, in parts of Mexico and Costa Rica, the influx of high-spending remote workers has driven up rents, displaced local residents from their communities, and made the cost of living materially worse for ordinary people. Jamaica's housing stock is already under severe pressure after Melissa. Why would 5,000 high-earning foreign nationals spending that $25,000 each not do the same thing here?
I don't think it would, because I think we have the capacity in terms of the units. In fact, I think right now there's an overcapacity in terms of properties at the high end. I mean, if I take my own constituency as an example, I mean, there are lots of apartments and townhouses that are empty, quite frankly, because there's been a building boom. So I don't think there's pressure at that end. The demand in Jamaica for housing is at the medium to the lower end. That's not where these people are going to be displacing. In fact, we have the capacity right now to accommodate those people without any issue. So I don't think if you had a tighter housing market where more Jamaicans wanted homes, and where Jamaicans want homes are in the range of 10 to 15 to 20 million starter homes. Where most of the nomads would be competing are in Airbnbs and townhouses, which are in a higher price range. So I
Higher
don't
price
see
range
any
for
displacement rate.
purchasing, Julian Robinson, but not for rentals. And there are
I know.
complaints by individuals who say houses are being removed from the housing stock for rentals, converted to Airbnbs to accommodate visitors into Jamaica, leaving locals stranded. Examples cited there of countries that have that as real life examples. This seems like it could be creating a problem, not solving it.
I don't, again, I would disagree with you about it creating a problem. Jamaica has, there's a very different conversation about providing affordable housing. And we do have a challenge with access to affordable housing. That is an issue. And that's principally why we believe the NHG funds need to be put back into affordable housing.
Bingo.
But I don't believe this is going to place pressure on it. I mean, I know of examples of people who do this right now, who come to Jamaica, have extended stays here. They generally stay in Airbnbs or they stay in villas or not normally hotels. And the expenditure that they make contributes positively to the economy. It doesn't displace it at all. And I don't think there be a displacement effect at all.
If we don't have that displacement effect, let's look at the real life comparators then, because you cited Barbados' welcome stamp as your model. But Barbados is a different kind of country, a country of 280,000 people. Jamaica has nearly 10 times that population, a far larger informal economy, a significantly more entrenched poverty in its communities. The scale of benefit Barbados experience may not translate proportionally, and the scale of displacement may be considerably larger. How do you protect Jamaican communities now from that risk while still capturing the revenue?
Well, so Barbados estimates that each nomad spends $55,000 US per year. I don't think that would be a realistic figure here in Jamaica, which is why the projection that we have is 25 over an average of a 6-month period. And that's something that...
So, Julian Robinson is saying an average of 25,000 US dollars spent over a 6-month period. That's very, very low.
That I've tested, and I can tell you that is a realistic figure. Yes. And again, my view on this...
25,000 US in 6 months and no money, make we do the maths. Let us do the math. Because them people that are talking, them now do the maths, 25,000 US times by 150, see, that's $3.75 million, right? $3.75 million, right? 365 divided by 2 is 182, right? So 375,000, hold on, 375,000, all right, so that's a 3.75 million divided by $182. See, that's $20,600 a day. Divide that by 150. That's $137. That less than the 160 where Janet and I talk about. Bro, $137 a day. $137 a day. That is basic, fam. That easy to spend. Easy. Man, do you know how many things can happen? Do you know, listen, if it's mostly male nomads and they're into women, bruh. Bro, listen, in real life though, in real life though, if one of them dudes, 2 of them dudes, 1,000 of them dudes find a girl in Jamaica that they are locked onto, head over heels about, let me tell you, 100 US a day is little bit of money where I come out of them pocket, which is going into the economy. Stop it. Stop it. This lady needs to calm down, bro. Facts. She not talking about real life. I don't know what she talking about.
I do not believe this is going to create displacement based on what I know of the availability of rooms right now at that level. The issue Jamaicans have is access to affordable housing.
Yes.
And this does not create a problem for affordable housing. The affordable housing needs to be at a level, as I mentioned, 10 to 15 to 20 million.
All right. That 5,000 digital nomads, though, for them to pick Jamaica, they'd have to choose it over other destinations like Lisbon,
And so you have
Bali,
to, and you're,
and Medellin.
and that's part of Jamaica has a well-established infrastructure promoting the country.
Promoting, yes, but it needs reliable, high-speed internet in the parishes that were most attractive to remote workers. Many of them, Melissa, damaged significantly. It also needs other things like visa processing infrastructure that doesn't yet exist. It needs a marketing campaign to put the program in front of the right people globally. None of that is costed in your proposal. It just magically seems to happen. How much does it actually cost to build out what you're describing? And where does the money come from?
I don't, all right, what I would say, the visa, the processing, we process visas every single day for people who come into the country.
As a specific category, though, for these individuals, for digital nomads.
And I'm saying you have to create that, but I don't see how that can be something very difficult to do, to create a category of visas. You would use some
What you think? It take money if you create a category of visa? You create the category and then people apply. Ma'am, what is wrong with you? You sound slow. Listen, I can't, bro. Listen, I have. Sometimes I don't have edit. What is wrong with this lady? A category of visa? Yo, let me slow it down for you to hear the question that she's asking. It makes no sense. Good morning, June. How you doing? Listen to what this lady is rebutting. She's still on the nomad thing and trying to throw cold water on it. No, she have to be a labor right. No. She exposed herself right now.
And that's something that I've tested, and I can tell you that is a realistic figure. And again, my view on displacement is I do not believe this is going to create displacement based on what I know of the availability of rooms right now at that level. The issue Jamaicans have is access to affordable housing. And this does not create a problem for affordable housing. The affordable housing needs to be at a level, as I mentioned, 10 to 15 to 20 million.
All right. That 5,000 digital nomads, though, for them to pick Jamaica, they'd have to choose it over other destinations like
So out of 4 million people that may come to Jamaica, you think that 5,000 digital nomads wouldn't choose Jamaica? Something is wrong with this lady, bro. Something is she really doesn't believe in brand Jamaica. I think she joined Jamaica Labour Party under the bus low key. You know what? They say you're a laborite, but you can't be a laborite. So you believe, after Andrew Honest told us that this is the country that they are building with prosperity, where people want to come and retire, you're telling me that 5,000 digital nomads wouldn't find Jamaica attractive under the Jamaica Labour Party? Lady, you are not a laborite. A person will tell me say that lady is a laborite, or no wrong. She's not a PNP and she's not a laborite. She just is a regular person when I vote. She's a regular person that don't vote and just don't believe in a Jamaica. 5,000. 5,000? Out of 4 million? What is 5,000 of 4 million? What is 1% of 4 million? 40,000. 40,000 is 1% of 4 million, you know? So you're telling me 40,000 divided by what, 8? 8 5 is 40. You're telling me 1/8 of 1% of the people that come here would not choose Jamaica under the JLP that said choose Jamaica. Choose Jamaica. This is what she really means. Choose Jamaica, choose JLP. Under Andrew Honest choose Jamaica brand, 5,000, 1/8 of 40,000 people. 1% of the average people that come to Jamaica yearly to visit. You're telling me, big up yourself, Kona, Yogi. You're telling me, yo, this is ridiculous. You're telling me that 1/8 of 1% of the people that come to Jamaica would not choose Jamaica as a digital nomad? Yeah, I think I made my point. That's ridiculous.
And so you have
Bali,
to, and you're,
and Medellin.
and that's part of Jamaica has a well-established infrastructure promoting the country.
Promoting, yes, but it needs reliable, high-speed internet in the parish.
This lady just threw Jamaica under the bus. Miss, have you ever heard of Starlink? Seriously. Has she heard of Starlink? What are we doing? What are we doing? When you have no vision, what are we doing? Has this lady heard of Starlink?
That were most attractive to remote workers. Many of them, Melissa, damaged significantly. It also needs other things like visa processing infrastructure that doesn't yet exist.
Miss, you're telling me that there's no visa processing infrastructure right now? How do we process visas? Whose wife is this? Whose daughter is this? Whose auntie is this? What is going on? You telling me that we don't have visa processing infrastructure? Like what? So we're gonna get $2,000 a visa, and it's not a good investment to even put visa processing infrastructure in place if we don't have it? Miss, you are grasping at straws. No, Steffi, me never vote them in, you know. Steffi, me never vote them in. Me never vote them in, Steffi. I never vote them in. Me never choose Jamaica. Me never choose JLP. Me can't tell you that. Me can't say that without fear or favor. Me never vote them in. You understand? This is ridiculous.
It's a marketing campaign to put the program in front of the right people globally. None of that is costed in your proposal. It just magically seems to happen.
What she talk about magic? There's already a promotion. Jamaica is already being marketed this. All they have to do is add this to the marketing in a one package. Oh, Jesus. There's no need for additional funds. And even if there is, it is a good initiative because the potential yields far outweighs whatever investment they're going to put in there. What is wrong with this lady, girl? And this is me talking. This is not even Julian Robinson.
What does it actually cost to build out what you're describing? And where does the money come from?
I don't, all right, what I would say, the visa processing, we process visas every single day for people who come into the country.
As a specific category, though, for these individuals, for digital nomads.
And I'm saying you'd have to create that, but I don't see how that can be something very difficult to do, to create a category of visas. You would use you'd create an online system to do that. That's not, I don't consider that a difficulty. I mean,
you create an online system to do that.
In terms of promotion, absolutely. You would have to have a marketing promotion to indicate to people that the country is open to attract people like this at this point in time. Yes, so that would be a little bit different from the traditional tourist marketing. But again, I mean, none of these things that I'm saying you can flip a switch and it will happen tomorrow morning. Of course the government will have to do stuff. But I'm saying there has to be an effort to look at new revenue streams. And I believe these revenue streams are realistic within the fiscal year.
Well, that is the thing as well, because the high-speed internet that would attract these individuals is a high-speed internet that Jamaicans on the ground say they don't have access to. So we have to put that infrastructure in place.
Well, and here she goes with the high. She keeps getting discharged by the responses of Julian Robinson, and she keeps grasping at straws.
All of that in this fiscal year to then give us revenue in the next 12 months.
Again, relatively speaking, and certainly by Caribbean comparators, Jamaica's infrastructure for ICT is certainly among the best, if not among the best, in terms of ICT infrastructure. I don't consider that to be a deterrent at all. I
Impediment.
mean, if you look at
Internet flow is not an impediment. Stop it, lady. Stop it. You sound ridiculous. You embarrass yourself and your family. Who gave you these questions? The JLP? Our credibility is diminishing every time she opens her mouth. For me, personally. For me. I came here with, I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I came here with zero bias. I said, somebody said something about her. I said, let me listen to what she's saying. And, see if there's any truth to what was said about her. But my God, it's worse than I ever thought. From the moment, the first 2 minutes of the something, I saw a flaw. Miss Robinson, what? How you gonna make a mistake like that? And then these questions are, bro.
the BPOs that operate here and other knowledge process outsourcing companies, they operate here because of that's one of the major advantages. So I don't see that as an issue. Of course, we've had dislocation because of the hurricane, and I wouldn't expect that, most of that activity would be in the most affected areas.
She thinks that the nomads are going to come and stay in Westmoreland. Bro, she cray, bro. She cray. That's not even an issue. Obviously, they would go more into the areas that have good internet access. Kingston, St. Anne, and other places in the country. The persons would stay there. Duh. Where is the issue? Duh. There's no issue. You're making an issue where there is none. You sound ridiculous.
But the eastern part of the country has been largely unaffected. The northern part, in parts of Ocho going to St. Mary, hasn't had the same level of impact as the western part.
Exactly.
So from a capacity perspective, I don't think there's an issue terms of finding the space.
Yo, the way how she framing the question about internet, you would think that the entire island was destroyed by Hurricane Melissa. This lady is the Lulu.
Persons to stay here, have access to good internet and operate.
The electronic invoicing is something as well that persons heard, and they said that's attractive. But that's been on the government's agenda and the opposition's agenda for years. The reason it's not been implemented is not a mystery. It requires significant investment in technology infrastructure. The Tax Administration of Jamaica, TAJ, requires businesses, including micro and small enterprises, to adopt compatible point-of-sale systems. It requires a compliance campaign that takes time to put in place. You're projecting $8.6 billion this year,
2%.
year one.
2%.
2%. It assumes all of that is already in place, though. Is that a realistic assumption, or is this a year 3 revenue source, like, 2029 presented as year 1 solutions?
If you look at the countries that have done it, which is why we're so conservative with our projection for this year, the countries that have done it have seen yields of 10 to 15% once the system is implemented. So we are being very conservative in year 1. There's already a system there, and it's not that they're starting from scratch. But I accept you may need to upgrade what exists. But this 2% on 430 billion, in my view, is very conservative for 1 year. Once it is in place, I believe you're going to get a much larger collection over time. But we're just talking about the first year.
Yes, but that is the question, Mr. Robinson. This is the thing to be put in place.
The lady now have no vision. She's slow. So you're telling me that putting whatever needs to be put in place is not something that is worth the investment for what it can yield? 15% of 400 odd million. Let me go back.
2% on 430 billion in my...
All right, so 2% of 430 billion for the first year. 430 billion. Hold on. Because this lady a mad no blows on the script. She already. 430 billion. Zine divided by 100 is $4.3 billion. 2%, you know. So you're telling me whatever it costs to upgrade the system is not worth 1% of this? You're not gonna spend $1 billion to upgrade the system. And even if you do spend $1 billion or $2 billion to upgrade the system, isn't that worth it? So say you get the 2% or more that Julian projected in the first year. In the second year, what do you think? Up and up and up. And once the thing implemented, it's gonna go way up. So it's like, what she expects? She thinks that this system would take what? 5 more years to implement? Man, if this lady don't go sit down somewhere, bro, like, you gotta ask better questions than this. You got to ask better questions than this. I can understand you trying to get to the bottom of it, but some of these questions are absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, bro. That's crazy. The investment is worth the profit yield that it would bring to make sure you collect all of the tax that you need to collect. Come on, man.
It's very conservative for 1 year. Once it is in place, I believe you're going to get a much larger collection over time. But we're just talking about the first year.
Yes, but that is the question, Mr. Robinson. This is the thing to be put in place. The costing for the upgrade, the thing to be put in place, the fact that it has been on the government's agenda, the opposition's agenda for years, and it still hasn't been put in place means something is a bottleneck. How do you plan to remove that bottleneck so immediately that we get to make money out of it in the next 12 months?
You have 12 months to do it. I mean, the information I have talking to people who are in the field, the major difference that is required here is moving from what is now voluntary to making it mandatory, right? That's the major difference. Because,
in other words, there's not much improvement that needs to be made where the system is concerned. It's more of legislation. Legislation will move the needle. Legislation will have everything else follow behind it as a domino effect for implementation. Because nobody wants to be violating the law. That's a business owner. Come on, think, lady, think.
right now, a taxpayer can provide that information, and many do. The major difference is voluntary to mandatory. But again, we have to be determined if we want to increase compliance to do these things. And as I'm saying, I'm not going to pretend that come April 1, the system is going to be up and running, but you have 12 months to do it. And if the effort is made by TAJ to look at compliance to improve collections, I believe the 2% is very conservative within the 12-month time frame.
Those are two of the big proposals. Your last one was that residual $15.6 billion there, financed by Treasury bills. That was the suggestion that had been made. Domestic borrowing. Some will say that critics will argue that, well, the borrowing to pay recurrent expenditure, the things that we need to run the country, is precisely the fiscal habit that the IMF program was designed to break. And you're also operating in an environment where the IMF is watching.
Yvonne, did you watch the interview on CVM with Julian Robinson? Man, Yvonne, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You gotta watch this live over. Everybody needs to subscribe. Let me put it up on the screen. Y'all need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe, man. There it is right there. Let me hear this question that this lady is speaking of right now.
Very conservative within the 12-month time frame.
Those are two of the big proposals. Your last one was that residual $15.6 billion there, financed by Treasury bills. That was the suggestion that had been made. Domestic borrowing. Some will say that critics will argue that, well, the borrowing to pay recurrent expenditure, the things that we need to run the country is precisely the fiscal habit that the IMF program was designed to break. And you're also operating in an environment where the IMF is watching. Your credit ratings were maintained post-Melissa, so all the big credit rating agencies were watching, and they were considering giving us more money specifically because of the fiscal discipline that we had. Now, the margin for error is narrower. Is there a principled line between what you are proposing and the fiscal behavior that this country spent a decade trying to escape? Because it seems that if we do it this year, we might have to do it next year once again.
You know, and the reason I actually calculated the impact of it is to show the impact. Remember, you know, the context is the hurricane. You know? The context is that you have 5 parishes where people have been devastated totally. There's a context. And what we are proposing increases debt to GDP by 0.44 of 1%, right? And it provides you with puts you in a better position to build back your revenue base, to grow your GDP quicker than trying to extract $18 billion from a contracting economy. So you can get back to your pre-Melissa debt to GDP numbers quicker this way than sucking $18 billion out in new taxes from a shrinking population. So nobody was saying go and borrow 50 billion, 100 billion, and push your debt to GDP numbers way out. No, we look very carefully at the number, and it is less than half of 1% in terms of what it would move our debt to GDP. The government, suspended the fiscal rules coming out of the hurricane quite wisely from our perspective to give itself a little bit of breathing room to recover. And for me, the context is recovering quickly, putting people back on their feet so that you can build back your revenue base in the shortest possible time.
The more people that is on their feet quicker is the more revenue you will get from those people. If the people them take longer to get back on their feet, is the longer it's going to take for the entire system to recover. It's just common sense. We need fast-paced growth in the economy. We need an injection of growth in the economy. You cannot operate as business as usual. How are you going to take from somebody that don't have nothing? An increase in these taxes is madness. Madness them are going with Jamaica. Did this lady or anybody on CVM interview what's she name? Favor Williams the other day when she come do for her thing? I would love to see what they asked her on my own time. I'd really love to see what was the critical questions they grilled her on in terms of her tax plan. Because 0.4% are mad them. Oh my God, how are you going to make this happen? 0.44%? Less than half of 1% of the GDP? Stop it. Shame on you, CVM, and whoever this lady is. That lady specifically. Shame.
And that was important for Jamaicans who might not have caught your presentation in Parliament, but are listening to you now, not only here on the...
No, that's why I was very deliberate.
But across
showing the impact.
The world, yes,
and let me say,
hear.
Yeah, let me say, I mean, the last time the PMP was in office, we had to make very tough decisions to restore our international credibility, to bring the debt to GDP down, and it formed the basis of the major move from 150% to 60 and 70%. So nobody is going back and going to reverse those gains. But we have just experienced the worst hurricane in the history of the country.
And so this is then your solution saying...
Miss, why are you cutting off the man? I find it super disrespectful. He hasn't finished his point. It's like somebody sent this lady. Yo.
Taxing is not the solution. This is the opposition's
not at this point.
Thing to do. Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance and member of Parliament for St. Andrews Southeastern. Thank you very much for joining us on Lead Story tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the only reason why I came on. I have nothing more to say. Julian Robinson, solid. This lady exposed herself. It's sad. It really is sad. She tried to throw cold water on this thing, and every step of the way she got debunked. Every step of the way. Julian Robinson was going to go into the IMF and the banking thing and everything. Oh yeah, cut your short. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. The first thing that this lady said was a lie. I'm gonna go back to it before I leave. Shameful. Shameful. Shame on you. Listen to this.
Of last year. The Planning Institute of Jamaica now puts the damage at 12.2 billion US dollars, 56.7% of this country's entire GDP. The economy contracted by 1.4% in the fiscal year now ending. Against that backdrop, Finance Minister Favour Williams presented an $18 billion tax package, the first new taxes from this administration in 10 years.
First new tax plan, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's the first thing that this lady said. That is a lie. Right here. Right here.
I don't know if I can say lie. I'll use it to explain to the 20-year-olds the bad choices and to take the steps that we had to in 2012.
Listen.
The hard choices, and I want to look at this chart because the minister used it on Tuesday and said she wanted to explain to the 20-year-olds, right? And so yes, it is your chart, and I want to use it to explain to the 20-year-olds why those taxes had to be imposed from 2012 to 2015. But there's been this, I don't know if I can say lie, about no new tax for 10 years. We've been hearing this misrepresentation that there's been no new tax for 10 years. But then I looked on the minister's chart. So what is in 2016? What is in 2017? So Damien, when you go back to Ty Dixon, I want you to ask your constituent, what can go so?
And this lady repeated the lie. Mighty God.
1.4% in the fiscal year now ending. Against that backdrop, Finance Minister Favour Williams presented an $18 billion tax package, the first new taxes from this administration in 10 years.
CVM TV, fix this. You better apologize to the Jamaican people for deceiving the Jamaican people. Fix this in Jesus' name. Fix this. Fix this. Fix it. Somebody tag CVM TV. Fix this. But new taxes, first new taxes in 10 years. Since the admin, fix this. This is a lie. Lie, them a tell, lie she a tell. Misrepresentation. Disinformation. Misinformation. Fix it. That get debunked. You can't come with that no more. This is the first real thing she said before the interview. These people gotta be bought and paid for, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. One thing when I stand on facts strong, you know. I mean, I stop beat it, you know. I mean, I stop beat it. Sure, what are that? Oh, no, what are that? And then call the man Miss Robinson. Let me play that part.
Nance and Member of Parliament for St. Andrew South Eastern now joins me. Good evening and welcome to Lead Story. Well, he should be here with us in a moment as we talk about what it is that we are hearing from the opposition. He made his full presentation inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say. Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say inside Parliament yesterday. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Robinson had to say.
The disrespect. The utter disrespect. Mighty God. Wow. The utter disrespect from this lady. Wait. Yo, I just came across something a while ago. Minister of Religion among 3 men charged for robbery in St. Mary. Mommy, hear this a story, hear this a tagline upon Gleaner. Minister of Religion among 3 men charged for robbery in St. Mary. Mighty God. Mr. Shuttleworth. Me go find the tape and play right now. Make me find Mr. Shuttleworth tape. This too serious. No man, this a man. This a man. No, Mr. Shuttleworth, they don't know, man. And what the man talk about this, you know? And it happen already? Mighty God of Daniel. No, Jamaica. Wait. Let me find back this. Hold on. Let me find this. The screws are being tightened. External intervention. I think that the screws are being tightened. Let me listen to this.
The frightening things about what is up ahead is that the Lord says, among the peoples who will suffer, and when we say people, meaning categories, will be the oligarchs, those so-called wealthy people. He will be targeting them with precision. He's going to mash them down. They're going to suffer big time. So with all of that which is in the pipeline, plus a number of different aspects of the judgment that is a screw is being tightened, right? It's being driven in, so to speak. So we are getting closer and closer and closer. And this is also the year of the screw. Many people don't know that, right? The year of the nail. Vav means nail. It means screw. It means hook. Remember I tell you, it means so much. So when you hear us using these terminologies, we are not picking things up and just talking for the sake of talking. The screw is being driven in. We also, on top of that, have to brace ourselves for external intervention.
Listen.
I'm saying it that way because we obviously don't necessarily want to cause any wide-scale panic or any panic whatsoever. But prophetically, we are seeing external intervention, and it will come in different ways. I could say more, but I'm not. So these are things that we are praying through. Remember, not everything that is revealed we can share on air, but also external intervention. Remember also the prophetic word, ruffling of feathers, plucking out of feathers, clipping of wings. That's going to also, that is playing itself out and it's going to manifest. Matters having to do with visa and all sorts of stuff. So we ain't saying anything yet. Let me take it further. Do you see what Lady Diana is to come on shortly? She'll be giving us the roundup in terms of US and other international things. And then when she's finished, I'll be more pointed. But let me just mention this. Do you see what is happening to oil prices? Do you see what is happening to international stock markets? So all those who have been talking about, with this, the economy is this and what, and we have been saying to persons, this island, not just the island of Jamaica, the world is under judgment, yes, but we are focusing particularly on Jamaica because the fact of the matter is, Jamaica should have been one of the most prosperous of places on earth if leaders, those who have been given the responsibility to have been leading the nation, if we were leading in righteousness, Jamaica by this point, our 60-odd birthday, right? We're approaching our 64th birthday soon, in a few months from now. This island of Jamaica should have been one of the safest and most prosperous of the nations in the Caribbean, the islands in the Caribbean, and certainly in the world. But alas, political administration after political administration, we have leaders who have turned away from God. And with turning away from God, look at the result. Corruption, taking over the nation like a cancer, and all the other maladies and vices. So the time has come when the Lord is saying enough is enough, because 2027 is pivotal for Jamaica. So there are certain things that must happen this 2026. And remember, it was on the 6th day that creation ended. The cycle of creation ended. It was on the 6th day that man was created by God. Many people don't realize. So that is why 6 means a cycle, end of cycle. It also speaks to the human cycle. It also speaks to imperfections. Yeah? It also speaks to connection. It is also the number of man. That's why the Antichrist has latched onto it. Satan has latched onto it. And remember, we're going to be doing a teaching on it. Because 666 is Vav, Vav, Vav. That's what it is. What does that mean? We look at it. So we're at a crucial place and a crucial point. So if we think things are going to be pretty, the only way things will settle and be better as we go deeper into the year is if the nation repents. But if we don't repent, it's going to become increasingly worse. The screws are being tightened, friends, but the remnant does not have to worry. Remember, we continue the 40 days fast. We are now at day 20, the 4th week. Remember, the cycle is now 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this goes right through to Sunday. Remember, the prophetic word that was given from in the first week, which was the shortest of the weeks, 5 days, was that there are persons who are going to be convicted along the way to join the fast. Do not say, oh, because I didn't start the fast, I can't join it. No, the Lord says, and he used the parable in Matthew 20 as a reference point, Luke 16 as well, in terms of the teachings there, to help persons to understand, because God knows everything. He knows that based on some of the things that are happening and will happen, there are persons who are going to say, boy, I wish I had joined, and so on. Lord says, even the penultimate day, if you join it with your heart being at the right place, you will also benefit from the experience. The frightening things about what is up ahead.
Well, that's not the video, but still important. This is the video.
And we thank God we are seeing more and more church leaders speaking up about the 3 days. We are seeing an increase in that, and we're happy, because initially it was the impression that, oh, it is Shuttleworth's idea. Poor me. Huh? Me? My idea? Not my idea. So more and more, as I'm seeing others, men and women of God, waking up to the reality and also daring to listen. They are now coming forward and said, it's 3 days. Yes, it is. And the Lord had made that clear some years now. And we will continue to say it, because that's what the Lord requires. Not some little prayer breakfast here and prayer breakfast there, or person saying, oh, we're going to be wearing black and we march. No, that's not what is required. What is required is that the nation of Jamaica must be locked down for 3 days. That is what is required. And then, as a nation, we will move the heart and the hand of God to extend mercy and to shift things and reset things in this island of Jamaica. Failing that, we will continue to see conditions deteriorating in Jamaica through different types of adversities, including cataclysmic ones, and also what is now looming is external intervention into the affairs of this nation, which will lead to forced resignation of political leaders stepping down, yes, and also some of them being arrested publicly. That is looming, and I'm speaking prophetically as the Lord is showing, which would also tie into the prophecy of ruffling of feathers, plucking out of feathers, and clipping of wings. Yes. So if we don't repent, these are a number of things that are in the offing, and we will just see them unveiling or unfolding right before our very eyes.
So back to the article. Though not a politician, Minister of Religion among 3 men charged for robbery in St. Mary. A Minister of Religion is among 3 men charged in connection with robbery along the Golden Valley Main Road in Castleton, St. Mary. The police reported that the Minister of Religion, identified as 34-year-old Alfonso Hines of Olympic Way, St. Andrew, orchestrated the robbery. During which more than $1 million cell phones and other belongings were stolen. Hines has been charged with robbery with aggravation, conspiracy to commit robbery, possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Backside. Wait. Jermaine Small, 27, otherwise called Natty, is charged with receiving stolen property, while 70-year-old, mighty God, 70-year-old Dudley Williams, otherwise called Dodos, Dudley, otherwise called Dodos, is charged with larceny by findings. Reports from the Anatomy police are that about 5:30 a.m. on Saturday, March 7th, 3 persons were traveling in a white Toyota Axiom motor car along the road when the vehicle developed mechanical problems and came to a stop. The occupants reportedly exited the vehicle while the driver opened the bonnet to check the engine. A gunman then approached the group, brandished with firearm, and proceeded to rob them of a white iPhone 16, a Samsung Note Ultra cell phone, cash amounting to $1.050 million, and personal documents. So the people living in the vehicle, in the Axiom, 3 people, among the 3 of them, $1.05 million did they in their possession. When you go on good, money I run, brother. Money I run, you know. Jamaica $1.05 million, I'm saying. So on average, each person have $350,000 upon them. No go on good. Anyway, but the iPhone 16, Samsung Note Ultra cell phone, My goodness, plus documents. The assailants then fled the scene on foot. What? I mean, only just broke down and gunman pull up on. The man they must say, what? We bingo $1.05 million just so. Plus iPhone and beer thing. Them fools still. Them shouldn't take the iPhone. Now find me something there. Yo, only should have take the iPhone. I probably iPhone they use and catch you. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Anyway. I'm just saying. I'm glad to them catch you still. A report was made to the police. You know how much phone them keep from me? A report was made to the police, and based on swift investigation, it was revealed that Hines, who initially believed to be a complainant, allegedly orchestrated the robbery. Wait. Come on. Hold on just a minute. So Hines was in the car with the Axia, with the 3 person, and it is alleged that Hines, it was revealed that Hines, who initially believed to be a complainant, allegedly orchestrated the robbery. Backside. Later that day, between 10 a.m. and 2:30 p.m., a joint operation involving members of the St. Mary Operational Support Team, OST, and the St. Andrew North OST was conducted along Golden Spring Road in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. During the operation, Small and Williams were found in possession of stolen items and were subsequently arrested. They were later charged following question and answer session in the presence of their attorney. Court dates are being finalized for the 3 men. So, ladies and gentlemen, the so-called Minister of Religion, Alfonso Hines, allegedly set up the other 2 persons that was in the car with him. That's why they charge him for conspiracy to commit robbery, possession of prohibited weapon, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Mighty God. This is a story full of banger. We can't bother. This was released 1 minute ago, ladies and gentlemen. When we opened the article, it was 1 minute ago. Fresh. It's a breaking news, not like. Let me see how long ago. No man, 3 hours ago. Before me even start the live. I'm not even do 2 hours yet. Almost there 2 hours. Filth and hazard on Walton Park Road. Filth. The smell hits first. It's nauseating. The sight of piles of garbage is scarring. Amid potholes and contaminated water, Walton Park Road in Kingston has become a hazardous mess. A Ufa constituency this. This not look good. The picture don't look good at all. The picture don't look good. I think people throw them matches and all type of something out there. Warning, no dumping. Here under video surveillance. Well, that did when the video they must in our work. People still dash garbage like oh. It says here that residents and commuters say the situation has persisted for years, with sewage and household waste regularly overflowing onto the road and sidewalks. public health risk daily nightmare. The contaminated water collects in potholes near roadkill and flows along the busy thoroughway, forcing pedestrians to navigate the flow of smelling runoff while motorists dodge damaged sections of the road. Not everyone succeeds. Jesus. Last week, young students carefully skipping over corrosive mixture left residents calling on authorities for stricter enforcement of litter laws. You see the rubbish right there. They are mostly from up the road and down that lane. People leave from way down there and throw rubbish here. No matter how we the residents try to stop them, they are not listening. Fumed Desmond Henry. Like many in the often volatile community, Henry declined full identification for this story of fear of victimization. Off camera, he spoke beside a pile of garbage at Waltham Park and Nelson Road. When the dead animals and other waste are here, the scent blows all over. But it's not only the residents. Vans and cars are dumping their rubbish, explained Yvette Calendar near a pile of garbage not far from Langard Avenue. While you talk to them, they curse you. Some drive away, others bags looking tear open bags looking for bottles. Calendar said while the NSWMA truck collect garbage regularly, residents and motorists' actions result in heat building up, particularly between Nelson Road and Langard Avenue. It's a haven for rats, obviously. It says here that the debris, household waste, appliances, cut trees, industrial items has become a haven for flies, rats, roaches. Residents say the piles are somewhat bearable during hot days, but infants must be kept indoors after dusk. Routine road repairs have left broken asphalt strewn along the roadside, creating additional hazards for pedestrians and motorists alike. We need this rubbish removed because it does not look or smell good. People live and operate businesses here. Residents must do better, and anyone the police catch dumping must be punished, said Maxine Jones and other residents. Audley Gordon, executive director of the NSWA, said Waltham Park Road is not only filthy, is not the only filthy thoroughway in Kingston, citing persistent culture of illegal dumping. You travel all over the world. Which country allows people to throw old mattress, stove, and fridge on the roadside, or chop down trees and leave it on the sidewalk? He asked rhetorically. Gordon explained that bulky waste requires special arrangement as the regular garbage trucks cannot carry such items. He urges residents to call NSWA to schedule pickups, coordinating with neighbors where possible, a challenge in inner city areas. Under Jamaica's anti-litter laws, it is an offense to dispose of garbage in public places and private properties without permission in an unauthorized area. Fines range from $2,000 for littering in public spaces upwards to $1 million, along with imprisonment for larger offenses. Mark Parker said the roads in the inner city communities of Jamaica is so deplorable, the government not doing anything to solve the problem. Well, residents are compounding the problem with the garbage and throwing mattress and dead animals and all type of thing. It's something that has happened in Jamaica for quite some time. I have to say that it's really a cultural a cultural problem. You understand? There's a new ambulance in St. Anne and St. Mary. How much new ambulance? 2 buses have been retrofitted as ambulance. The vehicles were donated by Sanders Foundation and were handed over during a ceremony on Friday at the Portmore. At the Portmore Fire Station in St. Mary. That's dope. Will man charged with murder of man found with shot wounds in River in Westmoreland. 2 men charged for a Denhamtown shooting that left boy and his father dead. Remember the local youth, the 7-year-old? 2 men were charged. Regional stakeholders undertake review and response after Hurricane Lisa. I'm so over it. In rural America, a teacher pipeline from aboard, including Jamaica, starts to dry up amid H-1B visa changes. Like many school systems facing teacher shortage, South Carolina, Allendale County has looked overseas for help. A quarter of the teachers in rural high poverty districts come from other countries. Okay. Jamaica plans regional largest renewable energy tender. Right, Mr. Robinson. Water restored to Bounty Hall and Spicy Hill in Trelawney after repairs at Martha Bray plant. Okay, that's good. Ethiopia declares 3 days of mourning after landslide unalives 80 people. Damn. Wow. Wow. Two men remanded over cocaine seizure in St. Catherine. Mr. Maitland got 32 years before parole. 32 years before he's eligible for parole. There's an argument out there, like this case for me is like the young lady is gone. Her mother is in despair, the family is in despair. They rock Jamaica. Circumstances surrounding the case is so, it's gruesome, like it's diabolical. Mr. Maitland really put himself in a pickle. If he's claiming innocence and there's an argument that is the baby mother that do it, that's the argument that float out there, and Maitland thinks him could have beat the system. Well, sir, let me tell you, you did not beat the system, and I don't think you're ever going to. This one is on you. You know, look, your lawyer say I'm gonna do appeal. I don't see you appealing this and winning this. I'm sorry. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. If indeed it is true that your baby mother did this because of jealousy, and for the ladies out there and the men as well, this could have gone either way. A man cheating on his baby mother or his wife, the baby mother could have do you in, could have take your life. You eat for her? She could have taken your life. You understand? She could have taken your life. I'm just saying. Vice versa, ladies, I mean, no way go. This thing in Jamaica, it's out of hand. Like women cheating is an all-time high in Jamaica. But how men respond to it, a lot of the times it's fatal. I still don't know why people be cheating and then know some madman then do it. I don't know why them do it. I don't know if it's the rush of it. I don't know. But I would say choose Jesus. Choose the Lord's path. I would say choose the Lord's path. Choose Jesus. Alright? Get married, be faithful, and not just get married to any random person, but make God guide that process there, because it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't really make any sense. It don't make no sense. This is just crazy. People out here just taking people's lives like this. You understand? After if I press big up yourself, big up the whole wisdom warriors then up. Then I was a man in England. After if I press up, work time I know. I'm supposed to either 6:40 or 7:40. So you know that one. Yeah man, so Maitland get 32 years before eligible for parole. Noel Maitland sentencing, the prosecution recommends life sentence for Noel, 36 years before parole. He get 32 though. That's 4 years off. The family left to imagine how it's gonna leave. So there's like the family still don't get closure. The family still don't get closure. Noel Maitland sentencing, lawyer recommends 17 years in prison for the convicted cop. And which lawyer is Noel Maitland's attorney? Bruh, you gotta be kidding me. You got to be. Y'all thought he was gonna get 17 years? Y'all crazy, bro. That was very optimistic. SSP Ben promises international style security for champs. Alright, so Noel Maitland dominated the news in the early morning. Alright, that's it for me, guys. That was yesterday. Just going over some of the news, very interesting. A couple of them that I saw with the garbage and the other situation with the minister of religion. Insane. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your time. You rocked out with me. Those that came, those that went. And shout out to the people that watch the replay and come to the end of the live. Consider becoming a member on the platform. Make it official. Be a VIP over here on Bolo VNR 2.0. And for the persons on TikTok, subscribe to my page. What you waiting on? It's right there. Subscribe to my page. There it is. See y'all later, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.